a 60% win rate on the map overall. So not too shabby whatsoever, actually.
Could definitely be promising. Heading into this one, any players in particular I want to keep your eye on here, because we're noticing that we're seeing double breach here, double Raze. Cypher and Killjoy, very notable in of itself, but for the most part, it is kind of par for the course of what you'll see on Split a number of times. Killjoy does seem really interesting to me, though.
I want to keep an eye on Shinobi.
Keep an eye on Shinobi?
I know it's a weird call, but he did really well on Ascent. And when Shinobi plays well, he plays really well. I've seen Shinobi get a back when C9 CSGO was with like Stewie and Tarek and those guys. I saw Shinobi get a 1v4 ace clutch against that Cloud9 roster. So you can't count Shinobi out of anything, especially when he's feeling himself. Here comes Mitchell to open things up. That's dcop to fall down, and well, we might have to start this game off, this round off a little quicker. DXN 2 kills. Mina chimes in for another, bursting that classic. And now it's all down to Relyks and TenZ. And well, when these two are alive, there's always a chance. Paint shell from Paincakes will not clear anybody out just yet. TenZ forces the issue and drops Paincakes early on. Cutefatboy, that's a huge kill into Relyks, leaving TenZ in a 1v2.
Spotting that first player, kind of has to dance around the pillar. Unfortunately, he will be completely collapsed upon. Only so much you can do in that sort of scenario, really. Unfortunately, since he didn't find that first frag, the second one obviously won't come his way, but he needs to find that first kill like right there, right now, you know? And if that hurdle isn't met, if it isn't jumped over, then it's hard to exactly think that Cloud9 can realistically close that one out here. But a good pivot by Equinox, I have to say. We have a bit of a tech pause. Would also like to mention, it looks like there's a little bit of lag on the side of Mitch, who I think it's that kind of interesting, though. I think he found the opening kill. Am I right? Or no, wait, he was the opening kill.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, I can definitely understand. That was a bit of a weird position he was in towards heaven.
Yeah. I feel like I read somewhere in that chat where they said 500 ping, so I want to see if that's just them memeing or if there was actually 500 ping. If there's actually 500 ping on Mitch, that's absolutely insanity.
I mean, hey, I wouldn't put past him.
80, yeah, it's dropping down now.
Issues.
Yes, we have.
Oh, yeah, I just realized the overlay is a little bit different, so I went ahead and fixed that one up. You guys will hear that in 90 seconds time. Gonna have that production issue. Cool, we're all good here. All good on this front. Cloud9 not so much. They'll be having forced up pistols. Maybe even trying to dissuade from actually getting those. Maybe just holding on to the classics. Come round 3.
I'd be down for a stinger
pretty close, down to a 1v1. Do you think it would be the worst idea in the world for them to force up here? Second round? I like the stinger buy on a map like this, especially with their comp. You got a Jett, you got a Raze, you got an Omen, you got a breach. You could just flash everybody into oblivion, send those SMGs in flying high, and well, the money on both teams is going to be pretty darn well. The money's low for Equinox and it's high for Cloud9 because of the kill reward. So as it stands, it's a really good round to force in for Cloud9, and if they win the round, it's going to really send a shockwave through the Equinox side mentally, as this is now the last map that Equinox have potentially in the first strike qualifier. Loser's done. There is no more second chances after this game. This match, it's a lower bracket. You lose, you go home, you win to stay alive. That's what's at stake right now for Cloud9 and Equinox respectively. And nobody really wants to get sent home, especially with $100,000 on the line in that first strike event. Most definitely, but now they have to get past the starting line. Still sitting in spawn right now. In the most literal sense. It's where they buy guns, and well, hopefully Mitch gets that internet issue fixed out soon enough. It looks like it's doing a little bit better. Yeah, we're seeing it. Oh wait, now we're
yeah,
back.
it's still spiking up and down. It's not stable at all.
It's not stable at all. Okay, well, how about we go ahead, toss it over to our heads here. That way we can't let them screen peek and actually see what the CT setups are looking like. You look beautiful today, I want to say.
Oh, thank you, sir. You as well.
But actually keeping an eye on this, you know, I want to go over map 1 a little bit here. Equinox setting the scenes a little bit, did have some really solid beginnings to rounds. I think in that last round in particular, I mean, what I really think happened for a lot of that is that they started good, but in that post plant, particularly in that 2v4 at the very end, it just seemed like they completely collapsed. I can't exactly pin it on one thing that went wrong, what the opening kill was. But Equinox, I mean, it feels like a lot of the time they're close to being able to pin out these rounds. Looks like the technical issue has been resolved, but, you know, I'm curious. Now that we have a bit of a chance to rewind and look at map number 1, what went wrong?
For who?
For Equinox. I mean, I guess you can argue Cloud9 as well.
I don't think Cloud9 had a very confident ascent. Yes, it wasn't their map pick, but it still wasn't exactly the cleanest of victories. It came down to the wire, and a couple kills going the other way would have won the map for Equinox, potentially. So it was a very sketchy map for Cloud9. To lose the pistol round, it could be a bit of a confidence tanker, but yes, they do have the CT side to end things off on, and I think that could be a very tactical decision to end things on the strongest side of Split. They are going to have a couple upgraded pistols, a sheriff at the very least in the hands of TenZ to try and open things up. dcop just going to hold things back and play a little more passive. Very heavy presence towards the B side from Equinox as they have the Cypher cam up towards A, and it spotted nothing whatsoever, so no reason to keep that extra player over towards the A site if there's nobody really actually peeking towards the angle. Well, maybe dcop's going to rotate over there. He'll just sit in limbo and wait. Sit by the shop, maybe get a little shopping done. DXN, though, has to get at least one kill here and stay alive. Buy time for the rotations. The hit's going to come through those breach flashes I'm ready for. Maybe the fault line to lead things off, too. Once these players burst through that dark cover, it's going to be an absolute kill zone right at that entrance to B site. Here comes the flashbang. Mina drops down, needs to get that first, but it's TenZ of the Sheriff. Running and gunning here. DXN, though, holding things down from backside. 1 and 2 huge kills. In comes Paincakes for a double as well. It's all down to Vice, pushing through the dark cover to his own doom. Might have gotten another one, but only 2 kills go the way of Cloud9. But actually 2 kills for that round, and considering their investment, that's not too shabby whatsoever. And they will definitely have the superior buy going into this next round.
I mean, you have to think about what was invested into that one from the side of C9. They had a breach flash.
Right there. Right there.
Classics. And the list kind of ends right about there here. That breach flash did them some good to actually kind of dash out. But, you know, those are rechargeable ultimates, so I don't really consider those an investment. C9, just really good burst onto B. Unfortunately, only 2 kills good for it, but I don't know. I'm relatively cool with this result here. C9, as you mentioned, definitely going to be the favorites to take this round, but they need to at least check their corners to start out with. Unfortunately, TenZ caught looking the wrong way. Well, he will lose his head to a judge. Maybe a little bit of revenge for the carnage that TenZ really caused when he was back, you know, being the judge master. Judge, jury, and executioner, if you would. Equinox now playing second contact over towards ropes. Somehow feed themselves in towards Paincakes. C9. They had everything going for them in this round here. Artillery, you know, every cooldown available, but they're really, really struggling. What in the world?
What do we always say about picking one at a time?
It's a bad thing to do.
And why is it a bad thing to do?
Because then you'll get completely crushed by Inspector.
Indeed. That's what you do. You peek together right there. Equinox, proving my point. As I asked for it.
Ridiculous.
Thank you very much, guys.
Right on cue?
Yeah, right on cue, right there. They peek together, and they win that duel. You peek one at a time, you're going to get farmed. Unless you're peeking into a like a classic, in which case there's a significantly less chance you get farmed because the gun is not exactly the best for multi-kills. But you peek into a sheriff like that, you're probably going to die too. You peek into a shorty, you're at least going to lose 1, probably 2 players. You peek into pretty much any gun in this game, and you will probably lose at least 2 players. And Cloud9 lost 3. That's just not playing with the full head on their shoulders right there, and it's a mistake that has cost them significantly. Will it actually add up towards the later portions of this map? It depends to be seen. It's a bit of a mixed bag of buys for Cloud9 too. A couple SMGs, the blades out for TenZ. They want to do a little bit of damage in this round. But if I'm Equinox, I am very happy with how things are going right now, and I'm starting to feel a little more relaxed, a little loose. Not exactly getting overly confident, but I'm getting some of that confidence back. I'm starting to feel all right. We had a close ascent. Now let's take Split and move to that final map of, I believe it's Haven. Let me double check though. Nope, it's bind.
It's bind. Okay, glad he checked. Right now, it's been kind of all quiet on the Western Front. Equinox have been playing a lot more passive on their defensive side. That's a nice, notable improvement. They realize that C9 probably not going to be caught off guard twice, right? decide to completely shift up where they're playing.
You would assume.
Nothing is certain. Again, I was certain that Paincakes wouldn't be able to find 3 from there, but we saw how that one actually ended up. But grinding this one down to the very last possible second, C9 will finally begin their embarkment onto the B-bomb site. The A-bomb site, excuse me. I'm fumbling over which site it is, and it seems like C9 are doing the exact same. Completely caught out. Again, it was a very tough round for C9 to actually break any ground on, considering what they're given. Sheriffs, I believe even a Stinger somewhere in the mix, and then of course a Blade Storm from TenZ. But wow, that is a bit of a tilter, isn't it? Being shut down without even being able to find 1 kill in response will be the perfect recipe for success. That will be Equinox taking a 4-0 lead. And take a look at what this means for their economy as well, if we could real quick.
Yeah, I'm curious too.
Cool.
This goes
here.
There we go. Wow, that's a lot of cash built up for Equinox.
I was going to say, like, this is just nothing short of... I mean, Jeff Bezos would get angry looking at this one. Let me just put it that way here. Really strong economy for the defensive side right now, and have a chance to actually make it a little bit more nasty if you think about it. This round, full investment from C9. If they can shut it down with that same A-hold that they had. A-hold. Excuse me. I think we get real dirty real quick. There's a push on through right on Q, however. Boggs. Smooth sailing for C9 so far. Never mind. No longer smooth sailing. A little bit messy, if you would. Relyks also holding over towards Heaven. Will be able to pinch out too. And finally, a little bit of downtime before we head into the next part of this mess, Boggs.
This is a bit of a mess, but now it's an Equinox mess. It's a 4v2 in the favor of Cloud9. Both players towards screens as well. That Swarm Grenade will hold them at bay for longer. Relyks holding a good angle on the towards screens, waiting for them to walk out. Mina might just get caught out here, keeping an eye on Heaven. I don't think Mina's going to escape. Whether or not it's Mitch or Relyks to put the final nail in that coffin remains to be seen. Vice eliminates DXN elsewhere up towards Heaven. And Relyks will hold that angle and hold the line. Cloud9 get there first on the board. It's a pretty confident one as well. But as we saw at the beginning of that round, the money for Equinox is absolutely insane. An op finally coming out for Mina. Plenty of cash still left in the bank for Equinox. Look at Cloud9 though. Winning that with 4 alive is going to be huge for them too. They can fully reinvest into the next round. And that's going to be absolutely critical should they lose this round. And we still have a bit of a swing round here between these two before it actually goes to an economically dire strait for either team. If Equinox can swing this back into their favor, huge for the confidence and huge for their bank once more. Cloud9 starting to edge their way towards A though. Flashpoint already coming through. And well, they're starting to work their way up slowly but surely towards that A site.
You should run.
A lockdown too. Interesting choice.
Paincakes can still hold by screens though. So they're probably going to try to work for Heaven control here, C9. Would be their best bet. There it is over towards screen. A little bit of spam just to try to dissuade them from actually pushing. But dcop, oh, never mind. They're going to push actually after the fact. But screens is still very much an issue. Paincakes, I think, walked into that ultimate a little bit too late and actually did get affected by the lockdown. Kind of a messy hold from Equinox, in all honesty. I feel like holding onto screens like what cutefatboy is doing at the moment probably would have been for the greater good. But at least they've managed to completely stem the wound here. We're into a 4-on-4 here. And Boggs, either kill can really swing the momentum, as we'll see right here. cutefatboy and Mina both picking up frags of their own. And it'll actually even be a third. This is a complete and utter collapse if I've ever seen one. And Cloud9, unfortunately, going to be written off in the history books as, unfortunately, not able to hold the A-bomb site.
Was that important?
No, they're not. It's a flawless retake.
Just there. It was messy.
Yeah. But you gotta put your hats off to Equinox in that retake. Not losing a single player there. The only player losing was Paincakes, and that was just a little bit of an error going into the lockdown a little too early. And overall, that's definitely within the margin for Equinox. Their money going back to the top. Cloud9, though, in a bit of a rough spot once more economically. A judge out for TenZ.
Stay safe.
Cloud9. Definitely been a bit of a slow start, but when they can actually get a solid execute going, like we saw, you know, in round number 4 or 5, I believe it was, excuse me.
Here.
I mean,
Here.
they have solid executes. It's just like, unfortunately, I think because of how dynamically Equinox are playing their defensive setups, they can deal with a lot of these issues on the fly very well. it's incredibly concerning. TenZ is going to be the one I keep my eye on. That is beautiful. Lovely little set piece in from Vice as well as TenZ. Finds that opening kill. And now, look at Equinox here. How do they change their setup? Well, 2 towards A, 2 towards B. Standard enough here, giving up ropes control entirely. A little bit of a fight over towards A heaven. But C9 have basic... Oh, wait. Oh, there's actually a push for B main as well. What's going on here? Oh, poor Mina caught off. Again, it's just sort of things like this where C9, now they're going to be able to adjust, but I think that's more in Equinox, not really adjusting their setup in the way that they properly should.
Yeah, you kind of wonder if just that abandonment of the ropes in the heaven area was their downfall in this round.
One enemy remaining.
Well, Paincakes gets flanked on, and like cutefatboy, the last alive, does not connect the operator's shot. And flawless victory for Cloud9, only losing 1 player in the 2 rounds they've won so far. That's a good statistic, but the fact they've only won 2 of the first 7 is a little less than joyful for them. Yes, it is the attacking side of Split, but this is a Cloud9 squad, which you can put up 5-6 rounds on the attacking side of Split any given Sunday.
I mean, for sure, but at the same time, I think it's still too early days to actually call this quits, call this a bad half from C9.
Agreed.
You know, win a couple in a row, and I think they're back in it.
Yeah, the money's starting to get a little low for Equinox too. Cutefatboy at 1,200, 800. I believe it's on Paincakes or Cutefatboy, one of the two. Either way, though, money's starting to dwindle a little bit. That's given Cloud9 a little bit more of a chance to win an economic battle. TenZ getting full control of mid, though, and into ropes again. Given up for free this time, not even a player holding from Equinox. This could be a bit concerning again. It's even more concerning for me, though, that nobody's really trying to get any information. And a tripwire has already been destroyed towards the ropes. Paincakes working back in, just playing so passive here, though. It's a complete lack of map control towards middle for Equinox. And, well, Paincakes actually does catch one off guard. That's Relyks. And a good kill there. And Equinox build upon it. That's the question.
They already have done so much. TenZ was faking for some map control there. But luckily, Paincakes, I mean, he goes for such a risky solo play. We wouldn't even call it a play at this point, but just to work for map control, he called the bluff of TenZ, and it worked out perfectly. That's such a nice maneuver from Equinox, and they're going to be in the lead because of it. Time is starting to dwindle down as well, Boggs. That's going to be important to mention, because as we cross the 30-second mark, there's still been no kill in response, and in fact, things might actually get worse. Right on cue, DXN finds one with the operator. The rotate coming in through C9, they're going to try to barrel their way onto the A bomb site, but cutefatboy is going to be watching. That's the first. The second one, also going to be there for Paincakes. Everybody getting involved for Equinox, and shinobi trying to fill the kill feed with a little bit more red will unfortunately lose to the clock itself. And that will be now 6 rounds for Equinox, a slow grind, and unfortunately Cloud9 coming across their biggest problem, which is a timer. No, shinobi right at the end of it.
That's heartbreaking.
A heartbreaker, but I mean, that's just, again, a wonderful pivot by Equinox. I have to say, huge props to what Paincakes did there. That map control was just so important.
Oh,
again,
indeed.
Calling the bluff.
Yeah. I got really nervous when they had completely abandoned it for a long time.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
okay, this
sure.
is getting bad. He goes in, reestablishes control, forces Cloud9 in towards A. That crossfire, too, between Paincakes and cutefatboy, that was beautiful. That's a chef's kiss right there, the way they played that.
Right now, it seems that there's a bit of carnage in the kitchen. Cloud9 maybe taking things a bit too slow for their own good. I like some of their changes of pace that they did. Like in that second round, sure, I know that they only got, what, 2 or 3 kills out of it, but, I mean, try a quick B push like that again. Just test the waters, if nothing else. I want to see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cloud9 have to get a little aggressive now. They need to try something else. They've been coming up flat a lot of times. They're really only winning rounds off the back of their own fragging power. So I think they need to get a little more antsy, a little more risky, because what they're doing right now is not working. They need to change things up at the very least. DXN, though, will abandon heaven, but, oh, that's an information peek at the very least. I don't know if DXN actually got spotted due to that satchel jump. It's going to go back towards heaven, too. DXN has that information, has that control, but Cloud9, they're going to head their way towards B. The cutefatboy and Mina are just going to hold things down. They also have dcop in towards heaven, too. pretty solid hold towards B, and only
30
one player coming
seconds
up
left.
mid. This does not seem enough for Cloud9, and time is very low. We've seen this come run a miss on Ascent for Cloud9. Flashbangs in, Paranoia and Dark cover. cutefatboy down first.
It's not over yet. Still, Equinox have managed to keep a couple of players on site here. There's a teleport from the shadows in.
10 seconds left.
Wait, they again play. Wait, whoa, what? I didn't even realize. I wasn't keeping an eye on the radar for a second, but it doesn't matter. They can get towards A all they want. That is frustration. Oh my God, frustration incarnate for Cloud9. Another round, dude. Equinox, I swear to God, they are like the Time Lords at the moment. Cloud9 aren't losing to Equinox. They're losing to the clock. They have a serious case of T1 syndrome right now, man.
Why are you teleporting alone to a site where you have no information with the spike?
That is just a gamble. I mean, I understand it's a gamble, but I looked away from the radar because I thought there was no way they're going to try to pull that one off.
If they continue to B, they probably win that round.
I mean, hey, hindsight is 20/20. I understand what Cloud9 are going for, but this is just, I don't know, man. It really is just rough to watch at some points.
Yeah, it's getting real rough here, but Cloud9, maybe they have something up their sleeves. They did pick Ascent, or not Ascent, they picked Split, and they picked the attacking side for a reason.
Equinox.
What that reason is, I have yet to find out.
Confidence in their strats?
Or confidence in their defense. That could be it too. Maybe they just feel like they can shut everything down.
We've yet to see the defense come online, and I haven't been sold yet on the marketing that C9 have tried to provide for this attack side. This is a good start, though. I like this. They're faking with the lockdown that they're going to go ahead and try to take over A, forcing them back into screens at the very least. cutefatboy still going to be waiting over at A, but that doesn't matter. The push has begun over towards B. Oh, it's done. No, the round's over, actually, Cloud9. Sorry, I think you actually missed your schedule. That's happening next round, Cloud9. You just got completely, what's the word? Demolished? What just happened? This is not the Cloud9 I know. That call wasn't even necessarily bad. I don't know. Again, like, that was a smart fake that they did, but they just didn't fall for it.
It was a smart fake in the sense that they had a good idea of what they were doing and they had a good plan, but there's no reason to over-rotate on a fake when you have 5 alive. That's the problem.
I know Cloud9 have it in them, man. But I haven't seen it. 4 towards A, 1 lurking at mid. So they're going to go with something a little bit more default. But no good entry. Smoke in towards back of heaven here. That cam being spotted will be taken out by C9. This is a promising start. They've completely superseded, taken over heaven. But it's what comes next that is really going to be the concerning issue. Relyks playing entry here, unfortunately loses the fight to cutefatboy, who's waiting in the back corner of sight, and he'll actually double up, find another. TenZ has only been able to find 1 kill in response, but cutefatboy is completely crushing it. That's 3 kills. Finally, TenZ is able to reply, but those are the only 2 kills that will be found.
Last round in the half.
A 10-2 potential for Equinox.
Oh,
that is not something I thought I would say going into this game, into this map. That's impressive. The buy for Cloud9 too, it's abysmal. A Vandal,
but
a Phantom, 2 Bulldogs and a Judge.
Isn't terrible. Cloud9 know how to make
though.
things like this work. If we see maybe a set piece in again over towards ropes, this time there's actually somebody waiting. Start. Looks like the set piece will actually be over towards B heaven. Only 2 players sitting on site as well, 1 watching heaven. Interesting times. Equinox with the late lurk. should be able to come online eventually, but it's C9 to start things off, and this is a little bit more of what I was expecting, hoping to see out of C9. Alarm bot over towards CT spawn should be able to get that spike down without any further questions asked. Again, it's what comes next that's going to be super scary, but Cloud9 have had phenomenal post-plant positions for this entire series so far. Even against SSG, I can argue that for the most part they had very solid post-plants. Rolling Thunder in doesn't dissuade anybody on C9. It's actually going to be the bullets from DXN that will go ahead and convince me otherwise, but there it is. C9 playing off of each other perfectly towards back of sight will find 2 kills the good, and DXN left to clutch things up here with 30 points of health. He's bleeding internally, but still tries to make it work. C9 will deny any opportunity. 9-3, and C9 at last will get another round.
It's a good round to win for Cloud9, and I would say necessary round. They keep Equinox at least away from double digits. That's a good start for Cloud9. They need to win the pistol round, though, because a pistol round in the anti-eco or an anti-force would just about win the map for Equinox and send us to a very quick bind after Split would basically get washed over.
Yeah, this pistol really does kind of...
It's a make-or-break pistol.
So, wait, check out this bind. Double Frenzy in.
I like it.
I think they're going to try to aggro down mid, maybe. There's a lot of opportunities that they have here. Keep an eye on C9 here. They could actually pull off some really interesting setups here. Vice will be playing Flash, so just kind of contact if they were to rush in over towards B, which actually seems to be exactly what's going on.
I like the double flash. That's a great play by Mitch, just biding time. Mina gets shut down first. Mitch actually taken down by cutefatboy, though, pretty quickly here. Vice rotating into the back corner of the site. Dodges the paranoia. Here comes that frenzy. 1 kill, and TenZ with a shorty with another. TenZ with 2 on the shorty. Shinobi strikes as well. Only 2 kills for Equinox. And Cloud9 win that make-or-break pistol round. That's the first one they need to start this comeback trail. And it's a good start for Cloud9. They do it pretty strong as well. Don't think there's going to be a force in from Equinox. Okay, never mind. Maybe they are going to go for a force spy. Get a little spicy here. I do like this call. They have plenty of rounds to play with and have some momentum too. Might as well go for it. It's going to be pretty even in terms of weaponry, as there's going to be SMGs across both sides. Although actually, dcop on a classic and a ghost for cutefatboy, a frenzy for mina. Interesting. Very interesting.
Enough times. Equinox still trying to close the gap. What is that? Oh, Mia just hiding in his own smoke. Actually gets rewarded for it as they push into ropes. This quickened pace is unbelievable from Equinox. What in the world? Cloud9 completely caught off guard. Baffling to say the very least. But that's Mitch against 3. Don't call it quits just yet.
Spike planted.
Okay, now we can call it quits, Boggs. We can call it quits. Double digits for Equinox. I'll be damned. On the second round force.
That was a great aggressive play from Equinox. That was really fun to watch, you know. It's a gamble play, but it was the right read, and they played it well. Mina in that smoke, just waiting for the flashbang to fade, was a gamble and a risky play, but it worked out for 2 kills. I don't know how we got the second exactly, but it worked out, and Cloud9 are not going to force their way back into this one. This is a wise call, I think, from Cloud9. It's better to battle back from 11 than battle back from 12. And it should be 11 on the board for Equinox. If Cloud9 can pull this round back, there would be some serious momentum shifts back towards the Cloud9 camp, but as it stands right now, Equinox should be in full control of this battle.
Equinox have already made such a incredible round split happen. The fact that they could easily extend this to 11, probably being their best chance right here. Oh, that means so much for them again. Huge underdogs heading into this. Imagine being the team that eliminates C9. We're still going to have to see map 3 if they even want to make that storyline true. Well, they're off to a good start. Equinox just going to be collapsing in over towards B. Will actually fall victim to Mitch, who's holding the line. Great start, but as I always like to say, my mantra is that these pistols really struggle in the later parts of the round, I should say. And that will be right about now. So right on schedule for where things become a little bit rougher. At this point on, Equinox, they just have to play this so passive. C9 are no doubt going to try to come in as a train. Just press W straight into them, and hopefully that they can find the results. It's going to be Paincakes, DXN, cutefatboy, dcop, everybody showing up for Equinox. Oh, and it's going to be a team affair. The underdogs now have found themselves on 11, or surely they have. There's still TenZ who lurks, but no way he actually makes this one possible. A little bit scary, but whatever. We can dissuade our fears. Halloween is over. We no longer have to be scared.
That was a risky peek from Paincakes.
For sure. It worked out in the end, though. That's going to be 11, as I mentioned. And now both teams going to be able to have a solid buy here. Equinox, they're going to be cutting a couple of corners. I would imagine that Spectre is going to go over to dcop. No? Oh, wait, I guess they have more money than I thought. Never mind. We should be good here. cutefatboy still has enough to buy a rifle. Worst comes to worst for next round, so a hero rifle still very much possible. But let's not even talk about the potential of them losing this round. C9, for all intents and purposes, have looked gone on split. All these players incredibly skilled, but right now Equinox seem to be doing them one better. Oh, that is a brilliant boombot to start things out here. C9, they don't even get past the smoke! The gatekeeper of the A-bomb site. Relyks, as well as shinobi. TenZ even getting in there for good measure, but that is one hell of a way to mount a comeback. C9, but still we're a long, long way away. Equinox haven't given up the dream yet. Paincakes have that showstopper available come next round, and that might be necessary, because if we could take a quick look at the scoreboard once more, I think the economical state for Nox, yeah, it's going to be less than desirable, that's for certain. cutefatboy should have enough to buy up a rifle for next round. Boggs, what's going to be on the menu for us today?
Well, it's going to be another bit of a half buy here from Equinox. They won it previously already this half. I'm wondering if they're going to try that same aggression again. If they do, I'm sure Cloud9 will be ready for it, but can they stop it is the better question. It's a very aggressive setup towards Heaven and B. Cloud9 trying to set up for a hard counter to what Equinox did the last time they were on a similar buy. Knives have been popped too. I believe that is going to be Mina. And it should be an 8 hit. The Roomba was used as a fake. They're just waiting for the Raze to come back and group up the squad. They're waiting for Paincakes, and they're just going to bust their way in on towards Zay's site. Only Mitch is here to try and hold this off. Mina's going first, has the Blade Storm equipped through the Cyber Cage and on towards site. Mitch will swing, does a little bit of damage here, but not a kill. Rotations are going to come through. No. Mitch does get caught in the fault line, however. And the Killjoy turret has been eliminated. Smoke's going down. Spike getting planted as well. 5v5. The pistols in close ranges can be so good, but the lockdown could be huge. Showstopper, though, will not get activated, will not sing as Relyks gets that first. In comes more. One more for Relyks, make it a third. Everybody peeking into Relyks, and Relyks shooting them at all. He's destroying them all as well. The last two players far removed. One flank coming in. It is the Omen. Another is going to be the Cypher of cutefatboy. Spike being defused. TXN taken down by Vice, holding the flank. cutefatboy might get one consolatory frag, but that Phantom will have to do its job in the next round as Cloud9 grab a 6th. And, well, they actually take out that Phantom, too. Doesn't really matter in the terms of cutefatboy's economy. Can still buy another rifle in this round. But overall, good round for Cloud9. They do surrender the Spike plant, but all things considered, that's nothing in the grand scheme of things. And we'll be back on the rifles again, keeping things relatively clean, but their economy has not really been allowed to grow. Remember, at this point of the last half, Equinox had about 7K in the bank across the board.
This is true. Off of that second round, Force doing them a lot of good. Handsomely rewarded for their struggling efforts in the beginning parts of that first half. This time, though, it seems much better for C9, but we're still early days in the second half, all things considered. Maybe not so much anymore. Right now, I'm aging a little bit, looking at just all of the spam going out towards mailroom. C9 better for it, however. Will find themselves up one player. I mean, considering the pace changes that we saw between C9 and Equinox, it is night and day. Aggression right off the bat, something that I've been dying to see for a while now. But right on cue, Equinox will decide to slow things down. Probably a rational, good idea to do. But C9 have a lot that they can rely on here, a lot that they can lean on, if you would.
They do indeed. They have a good setup. They still have all that Killjoy utility placed towards A. They have a rotation coming in, at least towards Spawn for now, but it will rotate back towards Heaven. Good angle from TenZ, though. Starts things off nicely, dashes away. And now Equinox are going to go for this hit, and they're going to continue to run into the meat grinder. Relyks and TenZ, 2 more kills. And the 7th on the board for Cloud9 here. Equinox, don't know if they're going to have another buy in this round. I don't think their money's going to be all too good here. Let's see. Yeah, no, they could get pistols, but overall, I don't think it's worth going for a heavy investment into this round.
I think
go
so
for a
too.
half buy and try your hand, get a couple kills, maybe something magical happens. But overall, it's going to be the next round where things are really going to matter. But this should still get Cloud9 within 3 rounds too, which is the important part I'd like to note too. Cloud9 are starting to claw their way back in. They already have 4, looking like a 5th on this half. Equinox, though, they only need 2 to win this map and take us to bind.
Good entry in, or good map control taken from Mina, I should say, right over towards A Heaven. There's also a wrap coming in through ropes, excuse me. Could come online eventually, but this should be telegraphed enough. Really, they're not hearing anything at B, and they've given up mid control entirely. This is something they need to be a little bit more prepared for. Relyks could hold on to this just with the showstopper alone, plus sheer will, determination, etc., etc. I don't see the overwhelming of pistols being enough to completely dissuade C9 from being able to retake this. It's off to a little bit of concerning start, considering how much they've conceded to the side of Equinox so far. They'll sit on it, Equinox, speaking of which. And look at this, really strange positions from both teams. Neither of them obviously want to give up fatalities. So neither of them really look to budge. Wait out these dark covers, these smokes. It's a fight about the 40-second mark. Rolling Thunder in towards A is going to completely knock away the Killjoy from being able to play as first contact, but a response for the Rolling Thunder. C9 actually are doing better for it as well. They've gotten 2 kills. They should be able to deny the bomb plant right in time. There's Relyks, just an absolute monster. Unfortunately for Equinox, they got off to a good start by being able to hold on to that map control, but it was really apparent towards the end of it that the artillery that they are working with just could not simply match up.
That ult economy too, favoring, well, I would still say it's favoring Equinox in the sense that they get their ult sooner rather than Cloud9's. But overall, it's still a very interesting situation where both teams pretty much don't have any ults. There is the neural theft in the hands of cutefatboy, or in the hat, I should say, the chapeau. But it's going to be a pretty even rifle round, and even in terms of which rifles have been purchased up, only 1 Vandal across the board for each team, Phantoms on the rest. A slower pace coming in from Equinox too. Maybe they just want to feel things out. Mid control abandoned by Cloud9 as well, so maybe Equinox want to get a little antsy up towards mid, flank in towards Heaven or Ropes, get a little cheeky kill here or there, and try and build off of that. Still, though, I think they are going to go for that B hit. There's a 3-stack towards B2 from Cloud9, reading it well, at least going for the early gamble stack. If that breach doesn't rotate off, dcop are ready for the flash. TenZ is in the back sight, waiting for that first contact.
This is incredibly scary, but Equinox can break through. His first kill is really going to decide a lot. For obvious reasons, they've just passed by TenZ. What is this? TenZ! He's a part-time ninja as well, apparently. He's gotten 3 out of it, even using the running Phantom for good measure. They just let him... They haven't checked it. They didn't check TenZ. That is straight up baffling.
That's a critical mistake right there from Equinox. That is potentially game-changing. Look at the economy now for them.
Oh,
look at the economy for Cloud9.
TenZ just cojones of steel to hold on there. Man, so I might be wrong here. I didn't exactly get a quick look on who was running through smoke as first contact, but I think it was Mina. Were they blinded or something?
I don't believe so. I believe Mina was just hard clearing right.
Oh, that's frustrating. It really sucks to lose those. I mean, to be fair, though, even if they did manage to clear out TenZ, who's to say that was going to be a solid round for them, but it just definitely sucks to lose a round in a fashion like that, even losing one to the running Phantom spray, which he's become oh so fond of. At least they've, you know, punished the aggression. Shinobi, flying a bit too close to the sun, will burn up.
Right there.
That'll be a good start again for Equinox. But we've seen this collapse time and time again, and Stingers versus Phantoms, things are going to be a little bit rough to match up. Oh, but Mina, actually, now that I think about it, that dash could do them a lot of good.
Mm-hmm. And look at cutefatboy, too. A lot of control here, could flank in, especially with the rest of the team coming through Heaven and screens. Already the swarm grenades going through, Mina coming through, the camera could reveal some positions. Relyks though has a huge chance on towards Mina. They pass like ships in the night, but Relyks able to get one. DXN trades it back as dcop eliminated Mitch. All site resistance taken down, and the neural theft comes in from cutefatboy too. They know where the last 2 players are coming from. They know they're both headed towards screens. DXN from the shadows will teleport all the way back towards ramp. Just hold the line. Hitting a different angle. 2 players on the sides. cutefatboy just behind that cyber cage. There's another one down as well. Time is fading. Time is fleeting. TenZ goes through the first. Here comes one, but it's Vice and TenZ were 2. The spike is not planted for DXN. Out in the open is TenZ. TenZ is down. Vice holding. DXN. No! Oh my lord, DXN, one more bullet would have done the job. Gets the kill at the end of the round, but it's not going to equate to a win, Kieran. Equinox come millimeters away from taking it to map point, but instead it's Cloud9 within 1 round, and heartbreak on the camp for Equinox.
Oh, I think my heart broke a little looking at that. Unfortunately, DXN so close yet so far. Doesn't quite finish it out, but that wasn't, I don't know, that wasn't the end of the world for Equinox. I mean, you have to remember what they went into that round with. I don't know. You can still be proud with it. You have a full gun round to look forward to, but now it's of the utmost importance that they get a round surely. Giving up 11, making things all evened up here would be catastrophic. Look, I understand that split is defensive-sided, but this is getting ridiculous at this point. For at least that first half, I could see how C9 were messing up a lot of their executes. But this time, it's just C9 looking so strong. Basically every place that Equinox go. Spike in, Mina, good. He has to go ahead and path around to actually get the spike down. And you could tell he was trying to look for a little bit more map control, maybe over towards screens. That's going to be really difficult now. Now they don't have that map control to work off of. Relyks is going to punish Paincakes' attempt for it. And we have ourselves a really rough 3v5 here, Boggs. 3v... Okay, never mind. 2v5.
And make it 1v5.
Let's play Countdown with C9.
None v5.
Ridiculous. Again, C9. They'll have it all knotted up at 11.
Wait,
right on
what's
cue.
the money? I think that Equinox are broke.
Flawless.
Just about.
Let's see.
Well, DXN is definitely going to be able to
max
find no
loss,
problem.
maybe they can...
There we are.
It's going to be rough.
It's
going to be a weird buy. Actually, no, dcop can get dropped a rifle. Or mina, one of the two. I'd drop mina given the scoreboard here. And that... A Spectre for mina. Oh, mina has the Blade Storm, that's why. Now it all makes sense.
Makes sense. Well, do you think that's going to actually lead to any pace changes from Equinox, though?
Maybe. They might want to send mina aggressive towards one or angle or another. There's double ops up for Cloud9 too on TenZ and Mitch. It's going to be pretty hard for Equinox now once those double snipers are up in hand. Shinobi though paranoid. Mina pushing in. Not going to clear any action. No, Vice actually peeked up on Heaven. Will get taken down, but Shinobi trades. Paincakes right there for another. TenZ is in the back lines though, and he's held strong for Cloud9 so far. Showstopper out. TenZ has the operator. Going to hit the first shot and dodge away. Misses that Showstopper too. That's critical. Spike carrier drop and another one from TenZ though. Not going to connect. Relyks falls to DXN. TenZ still holding back lines. Gets another kill. Mitch chimes in for one more. Paincakes versus Mitch now. 1v1 and a rifle picked up instead of the operator for Mitch. Drops that turret down as well and is going to rotate in towards spawn. Time is in the favor of Paincakes, who has the operator in hand. Has spotted out the turret but does not know where Mitch is. We'll probably get the idea that Mitch has rotated in towards spawn pretty quickly here. Surely Paincakes watches the angle. There he is, but it's going to be a matter of timing. Does Paincakes hold the right angle at the right time? That is the name of the game right now. It's what angle does Paincakes hold? He's edging closer. Is Paincakes going to take the initiative? Taps the spike, but it doesn't make the sound cue. Mitch is getting a little aggressive now. Paincakes spots the turret and drops that. 1 round. Spots Mitch. Goes for the shot. Paincakes clutches it out for Equinox as they grab map point. And well, Kieran, we saw 13-11 on the first map. We might just see 13-11 here, but Cloud9 have more than enough to reinvest into this one. Both TenZ and Mitch can hold the operators again. And well, they will do that. What an effort there from Mitch, and what a play by Paincakes, too.
Dude, again, this is why they waited so long just to make sure Paincakes get in the server, man. 23 kills and so many impact frags on top of it. He has had such a phenomenal game, and, you know, again, this is why I told our observer before the game actually started that, you know, you have to keep an eye on Paincakes. He's built differently. C9, you can desperately see they're trying to change their setup here. Equinox, right now, actually, they've completely abandoned A, excuse me. So, straying away from their normal default, and this could be really interesting. I mean, Equinox, by the way, you should mention, for the most part, have been moving incredibly quick on their attacking side rounds. Towards the end, where Paincakes was in that 1v1, we just crossed the minute mark.
Yeah.
This has been such a complete slowdown. incredibly noticeable right here. Neither team, excuse me, has been able to find an early kill. Rolling Thunder is online, so keep that in mind. It could be good to at least catapult themselves in towards B. Teleport in towards Shinobi to try to find some info. Spots one, excuse me. Rolling Thunder right on through, and Shinobi looks to hold the line here. Doesn't want to get overwhelmed, so TenZ will be there to provide us a little bit of backup. Mina leads to charge in. Spots one player crossover. There's a second waiting in rafters. Mina, he's looking the wrong place at the right time. C9, have they actually brought this one to overtime? It's been such a Herculean effort from both teams, and still Equinox fight back. They've gone into a 2v2. Time and HP, both of the essence. Paincakes can't do anything. It's not the showstopper that's a final blow. It's going to be the satchel charge. And there we have it, Boggs. 12-12.
Overtime.
Overtime it is. Neither team able to separate from the other. 9-3 halves respectively on the defensive side for both. Well, heroic efforts from both sides to bring it to this overtime period. Bonus Valorant coming up here, folks. It's Cloud9 to start on the attack. A win here would do wonders for their chances. I feel like in overtime, it's whoever can win the first round on the attack that has a huge advantage. Then it forces the other team to do the same.
You can imagine.
A lot more pressure there. No ops, though, I don't believe. Yeah, no ops for either side. Nobody willing to sacrifice that armor. What is that noise?
That's a turret.
Okay, I was going to say, that is the most disturbing noise I've ever heard in this game.
Turret is the most disturbing thing. Saw how it factored into that Paincakes 1v1. Doesn't seem to be a huge factor for this round here. There's no notable B main aggression. There definitely is the Heaven aggression, though, coming in from the side of Cloud9. Just utter chaos over towards B. You can barely even tell what's going on, but throughout the entire mess that is the attacking side, that is Valorant at times, so many smokes on the floor, and C9 have managed to run away with a little bit of a lead. Grabbing the ultimate orb as well. Important to mention that TenZ will now have that Blade Storm online. We enter a 3v2, and you mentioned that the team that gets that first attacking round are going to be heavily, heavily favored for obvious reasons, but now it's going to be even more apparent because that Blade Storm is going to do massive work, I feel like, just to secure this next one.
Oh, yeah. Vice holding up in the rafters is a good angle. cutefatboy actually going to take down one, but Mitch has actually eliminated Paincakes. Vice still holds the line. And Cloud9 pick up map and match point now.
Switching sides.
13 on the board, and the defense to try and close it out. That shorty kill from TenZ, I have to say, was probably the kill that put Cloud9 in the best position to win that round. If Mina's allowed to rotate in towards Garage, can do so much harassing Cloud9 from that area, and chances are, too, that Mina would have won that duel against TenZ in the end, and that could have just flipped the whole script. Instead, it would have been Equinox at 13 and Cloud9 at 12, but TenZ comes in with a very high impact frag with the shotty. And, well, now it's going to be an A onslaught coming in here from the side of Equinox, at least from the early signs of things. No ults up. Mitch will not get anything, but here comes those swarm grenades. Spike going on towards site. Mina clearing a lot of these angles here. Relyks gets caught in the fault line, but Spike's not yet crossed. Teleports onto site now. Relyks dodges that first as well. And, well, Spike's going down. 5v5 retake. It's going to be a grudge match to see who wins this round.
And there's no ultimates to worry about as well. Those are far, far way away before we actually see those become a factor. That movement from TenZ is dirty enough to cause a distraction. Mitch finds that first kill, and so the retake looks a little bit better for C9. Equinox, they've done so well to keep it this close. Don't tell me this is how it ends in utter heartbreak.
Oh, dcop needs to swing for one here, getting caught from C, but Vice and Shinobi have two. dcop in those smokes, capitalizes on one, DXN times it for another, but Vice is there to eliminate the last bastion of defense there on the site for Equinox, and Cloud9, in the nick of time, pick up the round, pick up the map, and pick up the match. 14-12 on the second one, 13-11 on the cent, and Cloud9 stay alive and eliminate Equinox to move along in the first strike closed qualifier.
You have to have so much respect for Equinox, though, making it incredibly close, incredibly competitive, and one hell of a game to watch.